What is up, fellow benchwarmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. What's up, guys? Welcome to another quickie. Good evening to you all. Good day, good morning, whatever time it is in your area. My name is JJT with Komish. Komish, lots of great games, lots of great performances. But yeah, we'll talk about news first. Not much news, I guess. Tim Hardaway Jr. broken foot.
Yeah, out for the season.
Yeah,
they haven't announced. They haven't
no
announced
official. Well, they haven't announced the timetable, but it's a broken foot. I don't think he'll be able to play for the rest of the season. Zion has a broken foot and hasn't even played until now, right? So it looks like they're gonna. He is out for the season. Kevin Durant was announced to be, skipping the All-Star. Who will be skipping the All-Star game? For more time to rest. I guess.
Just for perspective, All-Star game will be week 18. That will be a two calendar week thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are thinking All-Star is already week 18, guys. So after the All-Star game, it might already be your playoffs.
Yep.
So you better, just an advice from us, you better check what's your playoff weeks, because some have it at 19 to 21, some have it 20 to 22, some have it 21 to 23, and some 22 to 24. So It's coming soon. If you're 19 to 21, this news is not really that good, because basically he's gonna miss the rest of your regular season.
Miss the rest of the regular season, and could miss your quarterfinals, like the week 19, right? If he has the potential to miss, or maybe be on minutes restriction, since he'll probably be coming back if in case he comes back during that week.
The good news is the week after the All-Star game is still week 18, because it's a 2-week thing. So if he comes back that week after the All-Star game, then at least you'll have him for your playoffs if you start on week 19.
Yeah, and then good thing you said about looking into what week your playoffs start, because today I just saw in a league that I was in, our playoff starts week 19, and I was still holding on to Lonzo, which I shouldn't be already, because he hasn't even gone through he hasn't even had the procedure yet.
So your league starts the playoffs on week 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that made me realize, nope, I shouldn't be holding on to Lonzo anymore, because he probably won't be able to make it. He hasn't had the procedure yet. The count starts when he has the procedure. So, let's say he has the procedure next week, then that's already week 16. He's pretty much done for your fantasy season, if that's the case. I'm not sure if this is big news, but I guess rumors about Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Nic Batum went on to say that he's still hoping that they would come back in March. I guess that stirred the pot a little for these two players.
And then Brian Windhorst goes to the other way.
Yeah. Well, I think from a player's perspective, I was thinking about this. I think Batum is just saying he is still hoping that they will be able to play, because they're still within that playoff range. They're still there, and it's gonna be difficult for them to advance the playoffs without these two, or pretty much a lost season already without these two players. So I guess that's how I read it. I still added Kawhi in our league.
I saw a lot of people adding Kawhi actually in multiple leagues. Before today, there were a lot of Kawhis in my league, but now there's not much. And I just feel like the Brian Windhorst thing is nothing really. He was just being interviewed in a podcast, and he said it's a real possibility, which we all know it's a real possibility. We already knew when he got injured that if he doesn't improve, they're gonna have the surgery because they don't have any choice. So there's not really news. I think Kawhi's coming back depends on whether Paul George needs the surgery or not. The reason why they're giving him they're talking about March means that they're really gonna try until the very end to not have Paul George go through the surgery. They're trying. Obviously, it's not healing well because they keep on extending the evaluation period.
Yeah.
Right. So if you own Kawhi, like Jeremy just picked up Kawhi, you will also have to root for Paul George coming back because there's no way the Clippers will bring Kawhi back if they don't have a chance to win this year, and they won't have a chance to win if Paul George is out. So that's just how simple it is for me.
And also, I don't really recommend you adding Kawhi's in all your teams because the reason I added Kawhi there is because I don't have anyone really on my IL slot, and I just had to, I just decided to just maybe Kawhi would be worth a flyer. Maybe he plays. So at least there's that. But if I get into trouble, like lots of my players gets injured, he's probably be the first one to go as well.
Yeah.
For my end, and that's the only Kawhi ad I made. In our dynasty league, I had Kawhi. I still have Kawhi. I'm holding him there because it's a dynasty league. So yeah, I'm not saying you go add all the Kawhi Leonards out there because you might you might not even get to the playoffs just because of that move. Not really a big ad, not really something that would really excite you adding Kawhi because we're still not sure about his situation. All right. Let's talk about some feel good players first because we've got a lot. We're talking about Joel Embiid, who is on fire. What, for 2 weeks now?
More than the whole January actually.
Yeah, actually the whole January. I think he's averaging 30 something,
34. I think 34.
34 and 10.
They probably already have 13 to 14 games. I read somewhere that since Christmas he has scored, I think 600 points, something like that.
Yeah.
It's on an insane streak right now. He's really, really, really hot.
And it's not just the scoring. Elite free throw shooting for a center.
Yeah.
Rebounding are good. The blocks are good. I guess if there's only one, maybe the assists are not as good, but yeah, not bad either, I guess.
Yeah.
In case you're gonna compare him to the number one pick overall, which is Nikola Jokic, as what the commish somehow did there in the locker room in the article. Jokic is not as good in terms of the scoring, but he is still good overall.
Yeah, but even at this peak of Embiid, Jokic rankings wise still way ahead of him.
Yeah.
Jokic, I guess Jokic is better in, of course, the assists. Jokic is better with the turnovers a little bit compared to Embiid. So that's his advantage. Yeah, I understand the scoring is not as good as Embiid, but the rebounding is like today he had 21 rebounds. So
yeah,
and it's effortless. He doesn't seem like
If you watch Jokic, it's really effortless for him. The rebounding, especially, I mean, you'll just be surprised. He's got 10, 15 already. Because there's no rebounder there. I mean, in Denver, right? It's just him and nobody else. And who's their power forward? Aaron Gordon,
Jeff Green, probably.
Not even known rebounders, right? He is the only guy there. Plus, he facilitates everything. So the assist is a big advantage over Embiid. But yeah, Embiid is now the question, I guess, with Embiid is how long can he do this? And
Well, I was just gonna comment that I haven't heard anything about his sore knee lately during this stretch. I did not hear about him, missing practice or having this, having that. So everything looks good right now. Of course, there's still 3 months to go for the season overall, so we don't know how his body will hold up. There's always gonna be the worry there. But if I own Embiid, I I cannot say sell. How high will you go? I mean, there's nothing higher here than Jokic probably and Harden, but I would probably just hold and just pray that he can finish the season.
in one of our FBW leagues, I Embiid trade just happened, just passed this afternoon. It was Embiid. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Embiid for Bradley Beal and Richaun Holmes.
Embiid for Bradley Beal and Richaun Holmes. That's lopsided for me. I mean, Embiid blows that out of the water. I don't know if you agree, but I think Bradley Beal is not a first rounder this year. He's not a second rounder also this year. Even in his good stretch, which is he's having a good stretch right now, he's basically Devin Booker this year. So Holmes is a buy low. So here are actually upselling Holmes into a great player. Well, this will work if Embiid does get injured, but
maybe there's also that risk. I mean, we'll never really know, right? This is a hot streak.
Yeah.
One manager might want more depth, and thinking that Bradley Beal could still make it to that first round or even a second round value. But just to give you an idea, but thinking if you were gonna sell Embiid, I just feel you could sell even higher at this point.
Yes, for sure. That's all. That's my point also.
From my end, I don't think it's lopsided, but I feel that you could do better. You could have done better because it's a 2-for-1, and if you're looking for depth, you get 2 players, solid players, or at least name value wise, you get 2 solid players because Richaun Holmes hasn't really done much. But if you've got high hopes for Holmes, then that's okay. But but I think Embiid, you could still get players like Steph, I guess, players like Harden, those guys. I think you can still flip him for those guys if you really want to.
Well, for sure, a player like Steph you can get if you want right now. So it's a matter of if you wanted Beal, we hate on Steph here in a show, but still better.
But if you're gonna get Steph, you're probably not gonna get another player with it. Right? If your team wanted depth, you probably won't get another, player. It's gonna be a one-on-one trade, right? Most likely.
But there's a lot of combos. I'm just putting out there. I mean, you could put DeJounte, I'll pick Tyrese, I'll pick DeJounte, I'll pick a lot of players over Bradley Beal as a centerpiece, and then you can have a +1 also. So
yeah. All right. Embiid, great performance today again. Siakam has been great. Today, no Fred VanVleet, so that was even better for him. And OG also had a great game today. So Siakam has slowly creeped into that. I think I'm not sure if he's top 100 already or just outside, but very close. Moving up already.
Top 50, I think already.
Looks like it's gonna stick. I mean, the role he has, the usage he has, I don't think it's something that's temporary. Looks like it's gonna stick. If you can sell, high for him because you probably picked him late, right? You can still do that, I think. But I'm holding on to my Siakam.
Siakam this year is just the perception is better because, as we always said, he wasn't really expected to do much because of the injury. And so So that is just the difference. Siakam has always been okay. It's just that people expect him to be a second rounder, which he cannot be because his field goal is really low for a center, and the turnovers are high also for a big guy. So that has always been his problem. But this year, because of the cheap price that you got him, I'll hold on also.
Yeah, these are, he is one of those players that, every manager pretty much got him really cheap. For the name value, for the real value, he ranks there with the Miles Bridges, the other players who you probably got cheap as well. He is there with them. James Harden, another first rounder who now James Harden would probably be in solo flight for majority of the next few weeks, except next week, week 16, they have another four game road trip. So, but yeah, after that, pretty much most likely a solo show for James Harden.
And of course, the news about him wanting to explore new opportunities because he hates the solo thing. He's being extended too much because Kyrie is out and KD is out, which is Kyrie's fault. But he's gonna have like this week. He's gonna be a solo guy. He's gonna probably have stat lines like today for the rest of the week.
And he's been very quiet in terms of fantasy terms, right? Everyone's so hyped about players like Steph, players like Jokic, Embiid, Tatum, or other guys like Trey. We haven't really heard much about James Harden. It seems like he's just flying under the radar, but he's been really good this year. Almost a triple-double, I think. He's averaging almost a triple-double.
And I'll reference to Pascal Siakam with Harden. Siakam's why are people not thinking of Harden too much, talking about Harden too much? It's because how good Harden was before. Right? People are still thinking of that Harden until now. And of course, even how good Harden is lately or when he's alone without KD or Kyrie, it's still not the same Harden before. Before he was really just carrying your team like what Jokic is doing now. That's why people are kind of underrating him. For me, even 80% Harden from before are still really, really good. And people might have forgotten that.
I think just this year, the scoring is not as good as past years. But yeah, the rest still good. I mean, the steals I think it's not as much, but assists is still there. I think he leads the league in assists.
Harden is already getting old, actually. So his game has changed. His game has changed, and it has been It's reflected in fantasy. It's still not. It's not bad. It's just that it's different. It's just a different Harden. So, and a little worse. I will point it. It's not his peak. Let's put it that way. It's not his peak. But it's still okay. Still good.
Still good. Still really good. James Harden. Who else are great players today? Gary Trent got called out and played well.
We have our
LaMelo as well, another player who
bouncing back.
Yeah, bounce back.
Gary Trent probably with Fred VanVleet's absence helped him a lot there. For LaMelo, he tried to not take too much outside shots, so that also helped. Another player I mentioned there was Cade Cunningham, who really good today, 34, 8-8, and they almost beat Denver. So Cade is coming along pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I think but I want to talk about Cade because Jeremy Grant is coming back.
Yeah.
So for sure that's gonna affect him. But don't be too worried if he struggles a bit when Jeremy comes back, because we know Jeremy Grant might be traded. So just keep Cade if you own him. Don't mind Jeremy Grant issue, since there might be a trade coming up for Grant.
those that are not in the list, I want to talk about a bit are, Amir Coffee played great today. That game between the Clippers and Washington was crazy. Coffee and Kennard played great. My question is, Coffee has been good for the past few weeks. I think he's been top 80 for the past few.
Yeah, maybe. Coffee and Kennard are probably in our buy. So let's talk about the buy players.
Yeah.
Coffee's up and down. Yeah, for the duration he's been good, but there are bad games here and there. But
he has actually been dropped already in a lot
of
of
bad
leagues.
games.
Yeah, because of the past. I think the past 2 or 3 games weren't as good.
The last game wasn't good. The last game was 2 points and nothing else. But before that, actually, he was been in double figures. Then there will be games like that 2-point game, and then double figures. So he just has some dud games. But Coffee is very very efficient player. Actually, he doesn't force too much. He's what you call a system player. So that's good for us in fantasy because we don't like to stream or get players off the waiver wire that will give you a 1 out of 12 or 2 out of 9, and then 6 or 7 turnovers. And Coffee averages almost no turnovers, shoots the ball well, but is very low end. So he's an ad. He's an ad for me. He's a hold actually if you own him.
Yeah, well, he's been dropped pretty much in all the FBW leagues I'm in. He's in the waiver wire right now, waiting to be cleared. So I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a line of players, managers, who will try to get him there. I just like him for because of that Paul George situation, that Kawhi situation. If they don't play anymore, he's probably gonna be a little more helpful in the playoffs. And like you said, he won't really hurt you as much, and he contributes in a lot more ways than just scoring. He can pass, he can rebound, so at least that can contribute to your and same with Kennard, who also threw out the game winner today, a 4-point play game winner. First good game after a while.
Kennard probably is a 14 team league ad right now. 12 team maybe not yet, but it could be a short term ad also. Short term, but he's always been good. If he gets the minutes, so it's been okay. Fantasy wise also, he can pass, he can shoot.
Yeah.
So Bledsoe has not been doing anything. Reggie Jackson was benched, so it's a speculative ad.
And Batum just played 8 minutes.
Yes, they were benched. They were benched.
Yeah. And Zubac was benched as well. Hartenstein, another player who contributed to that comeback, also played great today. Probably his best game in a while. But again, like I read your article, I don't think Zubac he overtakes Zubac for that starting spot. But yeah, from time to time, he'll probably have some good games like these.
Tai Lu has said that they're playing 3 centers. Before he said that, but the past few games it's been Zubac and Hartenstein. If it's just Zubac and Hartenstein, I'll add Hartenstein mostly in most leagues because he probably can get 20 minutes if it's just the two of them. And today Ibaka played 4 minutes. So if it continues that way, Hartenstein will be a good ad. Well, I've always been a fan of Hartenstein. If he gets he got 25 minutes today, he's gonna produce.
That 25, if he consistently gets 25 minutes, should be an ad. Should be a great.
The problem was the last game he played 3 minutes. So that is my
that's why it's really hard to add him. It's like it's like the Washington center situation.
Yes.
But probably for Hartenstein, it's a lot worse because at least the Washington guys somehow have equal minutes. And today, at least, they got 11 points, 12 points. I mean, and some good rebounds. Gafford got a couple of blocks, right? It's pretty much the same situation, but the fluctuation of their value is a lot worse for Hartenstein because he can get just 4 or 5 minutes or 6, 7 minutes per game, and then the next game he plays 25, right? So
before today, since coming back, he has 5 minutes, 14, 12, 15, 3. So that is the reason why I added him, but I've dropped him. Now, if he gets 20 minutes at least 20, then he's an add again. But we'll see. We'll see in the next few games because we really don't know what they're thinking right now. Because the last interview was Lou wants to play 3 centers.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And then he said whoever is hot will play in the second half. That's what he said. So if that is the case, if that is what they're gonna do going forward,
well, if you look at it, the past 3 games before this game, Zubac was good.
Yeah. So
was good. So they played Zubac a lot. And I also think it's a matchup thing. Some teams play small, some teams play big, and if teams play small, they play Hartenstein. If teams play big, they'll probably play Zubac more so. But yeah, something I guess Hartenstein in a 14 team, just monitor the minutes, observe the minutes. In deeper leagues, maybe 16 or 18.
I'll add him.
18 team, I think he's worth an add already.
Yes. 16 also. I'll add him just for the upside. And I think, if we're adding Sengun, I think this guy is also a good upside.
Yeah. Nasser Little played another great game, but got injured once again, though he finished the game.
And they said it's a strain. He said it's nothing. He can play. He's been good. But
today Norm Powell came back. So something to monitor that situation because, Norm Powell came off the bench and could be back in the starting lineup. So that would affect Little a bit.
It will affect his scoring for sure.
Yeah.
It will affect his scoring. But remember, the Blazers really don't have a bench because Larry Nance is also out.
Yeah.
So, and the good thing with Little, he can play a lot of positions. So he's versatile. Maybe the scoring won't be 20 points and 19 points as he's been getting lately. But the rebounds should be okay. And then
the stocks should be okay.
Some stocks that may help you.
I have a lot of Little. I think, 70% of my teams have Nasser Little in my lineup. Nick Claxton came back. So another buy player in case he's there. But he is still on minutes restriction. So maybe, but most likely there's really no one there in Brooklyn other than Harden and maybe LaMarcus.
Dayron Sharp got 10 minutes today and started. Claxton got 17. I would predict that Sharp would totally go away.
Yeah.
And Claxton might go back to 22 to 23 minutes as a starter. And we know he's good fantasy wise. So if you want to be ahead of the curve, you can add him already right now.
And also, if you want to, if you recall the chemistry between James Harden and Nick Claxton, they've been good together. And now without Durant there, it's all Harden at this point, and he's probably gonna feed a lot of basketball to Nick Claxton. So something you can use as well or do is add him up already. Worry players. Just quickly, some of these we've really talked about. Harrison Barnes, we haven't really talked about. Not surprising, I guess.
He was 1 out of 12 today. I'll just compare. I mean, if you own Harrison Barnes, if you have a chance to pick up Herbert Jones, trade for Herbert Jones. I know, not right now because it's not a good timing. But there would be leagues that the managers are not really that experienced yet. Of course, not everybody plays in a gold league or a platinum or a diamond or whatever league it is. So there are leagues where managers look at name value. And I'm just going to say that I would prefer Herbert Jones over Harrison Barnes right now. So if you can move on from him, it will be the best for everybody and for your sanity.
Deshaun Holmes, for your sanity. Let's talk about Isaiah Stewart for your sanity. Isaiah Stewart was like you said, he was against Jokic.
Yeah, matchup, man. So let's give him some. Let's and understand the situation. He would say,
let's put some context into that line that he did.
But also, I remember Stewart, if Grant comes back and Olenek comes back, he gets a hit both
Yeah.
ways, both ways. So we would still expect some rough waters here for
Well,
Stewart.
you
Not
know,
looking good. Not looking good. In the short term.
the frustration managers had early in the season, that's gonna be the same frustration you're gonna have
Yep.
once Olinik and who's this
With
Jeremy
Jeremy.
Grant
Yeah.
comes back. So yeah, but yeah, I'm not even sure if you should, you know, wait and see or what, because I've had some leagues wherein Isaiah Stewart has been dropped already. 16 teams for this. So
I won't go that far. I know he's gonna have some bad
and no
games like
one picked
today.
him up from the waiver.
Oh,
That's the most
that's
interesting
something.
part.
Yeah, I guess he's not really a super must add right now at this point. I'm just banking on the upside. I'm banking on maybe post All-Star game, post trade deadline bump. So you hear me saying that all the time, and there's a reason why. It's just 2 weeks from now, and a lot of things can change.
Yeah.
And if you can just
Well,
hold on,
okay.
survive,
Let's
be fine.
put this in context as well. For Isaiah Stewart, I don't think a lot will change still for Isaiah Stewart because he has
Maybe.
played without Jeremy Grant. He has played without Olenek. Those players were the
No,
players that were. I don't think he's gonna get traded, but those were the players that was a threat to his playing time
yes, but
and his value.
remember, coaches and teams change their goals for the season also as the season goes along. Right now, any small mistakes that he does probably doesn't get as much minutes. He's probably not being let loose yet. I think when February comes, especially when March comes, he'll be given more leeway to do his thing. I just feel that there's still upside. I'm not saying he's gonna reach it this year, but there's a chance he will. When we don't know who gets traded, we don't know what happens. But if Jeremy gets traded, yeah, he will probably get back to what he's doing right now, but still get more opportunities. Still get the same opportunities. He's getting all the. I'm just saying, if Jeremy comes back, well, his opportunities will shrink even further. so as I said,
Okay, here's the thing.
rough waters.
Here's the thing. I don't think, for me, I just think that you should lower your expectations already for Stewart.
Yeah, I understand. I agree.
If he gives you 8 points, 8 rebounds, and a couple of blocks, that's still, I think, if he can do that on a consistent basis, you'll still, hold on to him for the reason that there's not a lot of players who can give you that as well, right? The reason why you're holding on to players like Hassan, right? Especially in a 14-team league or in a deeper leagues. That's just my expectations of Isaiah Stewart at this point. I don't expect him to blow up to a double-double player the way he did late last year. So yeah, my thinking is, who would you rather have now? I said Isaiah Stewart or Daniel Gafford?
I'll hold Gafford. Because again, the trade deadline. After the trade deadline, you ask me again. Let's see what shapes what happens.
Yeah.
But if no one gets traded from Washington, of course it's Stewart. But for now, I'm gonna hold Gafford first.
Yeah. I have a question for you, because this was asked in one of the FBW group chats, one of the leagues. There was a trade offer, RJ Barrett for Kelly Olynyk. Who do you like there?
I like Olynyk, of course. We're talking about their fantasy skill set and everything. Olynyk.
Yeah.
Probably depends on your team build, but
okay, it's a 2-center lineup, and he currently has Capella and Gobert, and then Olynyk. Those are his 3 centers. 2-center lineup. He's thinking of getting this trade. because it was offered to him, and then dropping Okoro for Nick Claxton. So he's like gonna replace.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So he's like gonna replace Olynyk with Claxton, and then Okoro with RJ Barrett.
I'll do that because Gobert and Capella is already punting your free throws. RJ Barrett's problem is free throws. Of course, he doesn't steal or block, but you have Gobert. I mean, that's okay. And you would need points. Capella and Gobert are not big scorers. RJ Barrett is a big scorer.
But
so
he
yes,
has lots of guards. He has got Rozier. He's got...
Doesn't matter.
Beal. Suggs is there as well.
And actually, knowing those players that you just said, Rozier, Beal, these guys are also poor field goal guys. So actually, Barrett fits his team. Capella, if he's back to his old self with Gobert, I think you can hold on to the rebounds and blocks already. If they're healthy, if they're both healthy. Of course, they're both not healthy right now. So I don't know how his team is doing. But
he's third. He's third.
No, I mean, for the next few weeks when, Gobert is out.
Yeah. So, there. In case you're listening, that's Commission's take. The thing for me is that I also like Olynyk. And just thinking that he has lots of guards. I saw lots of guards and thinking that Olynyk might be more helpful. So I'd rather take Olynyk there. But like I told him, Olynyk is like a luxury stash as well at this point. You don't know what's going to happen, right? I mean, there's everything about Olynyk right now is speculative. Everyone's hoping that he gets to the Houston Olynyk, but we don't really know if he's going to get there wherever he lands, right? So if he lands on a good team, let's say he gets traded and lands on a really good team, he probably won't get to that Houston type Olynyk that we saw last year. So he is more of a luxury stash, and RJ Barrett is more of a sure thing in terms of the minutes. He's gonna get it. So there. It's up to you to weigh how you think you would do there, or what if you're gonna accept the offer. All right. Anything else? No, we're good pretty much for this quickie. That's the quickie for today. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Midweek tomorrow. Tomorrow's midweek. It's already Thursday. Hope you're enjoying your fantasy week. Lots of great games. So I think lots of managers are enjoying the great games of their players, and not much really COVID anymore. No more COVID, lesser injuries. So I think hopefully it's gonna be smooth sailing for all of us until the playoffs. All right. So we'll see you again tomorrow for another daily fantasy quickie. Bye.